Greetings to all SMEs marketing professionals. It gives me great pleasure to present this week's bulletin on behalf of CTM Joseph NG, your sales and marketing e-coach and e-mentor. By the way, my name is Madam Sophia, the virtual assistant to CTM Joseph NG. Without saying another word, let me tell you the breaking news that might open your eyes and mind wide. Breaking news: embrace technology to remain relevant in business, SMEs told. The COVID-19 pandemic and movement control order have changed the way people conduct business, especially small and medium enterprises, SMEs. Johor South SMEs Association advisor Tay Kee Sin said the way forward for SMEs was to embrace technology and apply it in their operations or business. Don't treat technology as a roadblock but consider it as an enabler to move forward, he said. Tay said in today's borderless world, digitalization was no longer an option but a necessity, and that SMEs should not fear change. He said smaller companies needed to have knowledge of where and how to start, including getting advice from the relevant service providers. He added that the Smart Automation Grant, SAG, was the right step to encourage the adoption of automation among industry players, particularly local manufacturers and service providers. Launched by International Trade and Industry Ministry, MITI, the initiative is part of the RM100 million allocation under the National Economic Recovery Plan or PENJANA, which was announced in June last year. The grant is awarded on a matching basis of 50% of total eligible expenditure, up to a maximum cap of RM1 million per company. SMEs and mid-tier companies, MTCS, that have been involved in manufacturing or services activities for the past 12 months are eligible for consideration for SAG. Zero automation and digitalization is good for SMEs as they can reduce dependence on foreign workers by up to 40%, said Tay. He hoped the government would consider allocating more money for SAG under Budget 2022 to allow more SMEs to benefit from the grant. Johor Bahru Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry President Loh Kok Shin said SMEs should make use of social media platforms as the marketing tool for their products and services. Business owners should not undermine the power of social networking as it opens a window of opportunities and growth prospects for them, he said. Loh said, SMEs, especially family-owned ones, needed to change their mindset if they want to remain competitive and relevant in today's business world. Technology should be part of a company's setup, he said. Loh said embracing automation and digitalization was not an overnight transformation, adding that businesses should give themselves enough time to go through the process. The transformation can easily take between 1 and 2 years, and this includes upskilling and reskilling workers, he said. Loh advised businesses in Johor to make full use of Johor Digital Economy Center, which provides comprehensive training and assistance to help Johorians in their digital transformation journey. End of news. Source: The Star Papers, October 13, 2021. Hello. Don't you think this news should wake us up and do our business different? To this question I believe it a definite yes. Before we part company, allow me to introduce Madam Florence, my virtual colleague. She will present a free chapter of a selling book written by CTM Joseph NG. Alright, thanks.
Thank you, Madam Sophia, for allowing me to finish the final part of this week's bulletin. If you still remember, my name is Madam Florence, another virtual assistant to CTM Joseph NG. Without delay, here is a free chapter for you by CTM Joseph NG, the author of the book, How to Close Every Sales and Every Time. Ready? You bet. Chapter 9, The Puppy Dog Close. Quote, allowing the prospect to test your product or service for a few days means that you trust him or her, by Charles R. Whitlock in his book, Secrets of Successful Selling. Trust me, if your product is one that can be used in the following manner, here is an excellent tactic for closing the sale. By the way, do you know how to dispose a puppy dog that you don't want? The answer: you let someone keep it over a weekend. Or let some child or young person or even an adult keep it. You can't get it back. Products are sold this way. Now, not all products can be sold by putting them in the hands of the user before the decision to buy is made. But some products can. Don't believe? Then read on. Listen. During the course previous my sales training workshop, I came to know of a dynamic sales trainee who sells expensive cars. This salesperson spends his weekends at his lake house. His last day at work before the weekend, he takes his lists of prospective. He then numbers these prospects in the order of the quality of prospective based on those who will mostly likely buy the soonest. He starts from the top of the list. He then calls prospects. Normally when he calls the prospect on the phone, he always says something like this. My wife and I are going to the lake this weekend. There has been a lot of vandalism in my neighborhood recently. I just can't feel comfortable being away from the house for the weekend with my expensive German car sitting on the driveway unattended. Would you mind too much if I just park on your driveway and leave it for the weekend, and I will pick it up first thing on Monday morning? With this, now he starts to make phone calls like this until he finds someone that says, yes, it's all right, you can park it in my driveway. We will watch it for you over the weekend. Then he delivers the car to the prospect's house and off hen goes to the lake resort for the weekend. Monday morning, he is back to work to pick up the car at the prospect's house. Now what happens? You ask. Remember again, this person the salesman calls is a prospect for this expensive car. I'm not talking about the salesman calling someone at midnight and ask him, may I park on your driveway? Instead, he calls only good prospective buyers. Picture this, all weekend this expensive car was parked at the prospect's driveway. The neighbors had all seen it. Perhaps few of his friends and relatives have dropped by. Maybe they have seen it sitting there, and what is he going to tell them next week? Will he send it back? Probably not. This trainee's friend of mine related and confirmed with me of this event. The next door neighbor to the prospects made no inquiry until Sunday evening, before saying anything to his prospective buyer about the expensive car on the driveway. However, at night just as they met on the lawn, the next door neighbor asked him, did you buy that? The prospect said, no, I did not buy that, but my salesman friend did, he just didn't sign the papers yet. Of course, every such attempt at this didn't result in a sale. But sometimes it does work. Trust me. Furthermore, the puppy dog, close or let them experience the product method would get the commitment many times when nothing will. Maybe you would like to stop reading and see if you can create many ways that you can use the puppy dog close. In the near future, when closing any sales, why don't you let the prospect experience the product method in your closing? Meanwhile, stop reading now and write them down. Incidentally, a word of caution must be said. It takes nerve to use the puppy dog, and your willingness to be different. You have my assurance it does work if you try hard enough. That said, let's review this chapter with a summary. Shall we? Summary. To recap this chapter, it is good to repeat the salient points. Alright. It must be remembered that this sales closing method is better known as puppy dog close. It requires the salesperson to leave the product he is selling in the hands of a prospective buyer at least for some time. In this chapter, the puppy dog close is executed by the salesman by allow the prospective buyer to park the car in the prospect's driveway. It is done for the purpose that when friends, neighbors and relatives sees the car in the driveway, it could hasten the prospect to buy it. This method require the sales to have as many ways to find excuses to get the products to at least keep it for a while. Conclusion. Believe me, the puppy dog close is indeed another great way to close any sales. In truth, it works because it apply psychology on the prospect mind by inflating his pride and ownership of the product being sold. Although it is difficult to apply, yet it is workable. You ask, really? To tell you the truth and nothing but the truth, it really does work. I myself have tried it many times, and most of the time it helped me to close sales, especially big ticket items. In reality, you must try it for yourself, such a method of closing. And you will come back to say it's a great way to close. End of chapter 9. I hope you have gained some extra knowledge by viewing this chapter. Should want to get this book, please contact CTM Joseph NG at 012-3878-592 or email him at josephsing@gmail.com. Alright. Before leaving you, may we, Madam Sophia, Joseph and myself wish you goodbye and happy selling.